Hey girl, hey! So I am checking in today. It's my day off, so I figured I would get this video up for you guys. So I wanted to work on using prosperity rice. I'd never done that in my practice, and I wanted to see how it works and if I can incorporate it in some of my prosperity magic. So I went ahead and decided to do, thank you air conditioner, decided to do this and add it to my practice. So I'd never worked with it before, and this is basically a video on my take on how to make your own prosperity rice. Basically, I'd like to call this cha-ching rice because it is kicked up a notch. I totally went a little overboard on some of this stuff. So if you want to see how I did it, how I made my version, just keep watching.
Alright guys, so the first herb that we are going to be using is powdered ginger. Now I am using this to attract money like a magnet. Also to add in a layer of success to any magical operations that I might use this prosperity rice, or should I say cha-ching rice in. Also, ginger adds the zing factor, that little bit of a zip. Next up is mint. Can we just talk about that color and smell? I mean, it practically is money. And I would say this when it comes to mint. Have you ever tried to actually grow it in a garden? It grows prolifically in like a mega abundance. So yeah, we definitely want to add that to our rice. Now the last herb that I am going to add to my mixture is cedar. And the reason why I'm adding this is because it's used to attract money like a magnet again. One more thing I would add is, can we talk about the leaf color? I mean, the leaves never lose that pretty green color, and I'm just like, American money, it's always green. So yes, this is the last herb that I added. I want to take a moment and talk about this water bottle that I found at a beauty supply shop, but you could probably find these anywhere, pretty much anywhere. The one thing that I really liked about this one is that little piece at the bottom. It's a strainer, so none of these herbs are going to get stuck in the actual trigger. Next up, I grabbed my handy dandy funnel and I took my little bowl of my herb mixture and added it into the bottle. Then I went in with some sea salt. Now the reason why I'm using sea salt here is for purifying. I want the abundance and money that comes to me to be earned in an honest way. Also, I want it to be protected from the evil eye, from meddling family members, or even co-workers. We all know how that goes. Then I just went ahead and added some filtered water. I want it pure. I didn't want any tap water. Of course, you could use whatever kind you got on hand. Next, I decided to add one of my tinctures. I chose chamomile because, again, it is one of those herbs with an association for being a money magnet. It is also pretty darn protective as well. So once again, another layer of money magic in there and protection. Then I decided on adding an essential oil. Oh, I should say I added about 10 drops of that tincture, not too much. Then I decided on an essential oil and I chose patchouli because it smells like earthling hippies. Just kidding. I added it for the element of earth, that attraction of material needs that I wanted in there in this concoction. Lastly, for the liquid part here, I added in some green dye. This is just your regular food grade green dye. You can find it at any grocery store. Gave it a good shake with the cap on nice and tight, so you can see how green that is despite the fact that I used a purple bottle. Came out pretty good. Next, I decided to add a couple more layers to this working. I chose to use an oil here. I chose olive oil because I wanted to layer on the fertility, the money fertility. We want to be doing that hustle, making that money. We want the abundance. We want our greenbacks to be fertile, basically. And I used the olive oil as kind of my base to sketch out a pentacle made from the olive oil on this plate. Use a plate that you don't mind if it accidentally gets stained green. Next, we got a nice little slow motion here of salt. So the sea salt, I added it here because it would be under the rice. Now my trail of thought was I wanted it here for grounding. I want to make wise, grounded decisions that are practical while I'm spending this abundance that I've earned. Next, we'll take a moment here to talk about rice. So it's very rarely a single grain of rice. Most of the time, it's a plethora of grains. As you can see, that pentacle came out pretty kick-ass. You can clean it up very easily with a swipe. So back on the topic of rice. So a plethora of grains. Yes, this has a tendency to grow fast. So yeah, I want my money magic to grow fast. I want those funds to grow fast. I want that bank account to get full fast. It's also, a symbol of fertility. Again, more than one, lots. And the particular rice that I used was jasmine rice, which is as white as the jasmine flower. And we all know that jasmine has a correspondence for being a money magnet as well. So there you go, another layer. All right, now it's time to spray that rice. Now, I did this 3 times. I sprayed it, let it dry, sprayed it, let it dry, sprayed it, let it dry. You get the gist. I also chose to let the rice dry outside because I wanted to add on another layer. I chose to let it dry under the sun because I wanted that golden blessing of growth to be added to my cha-ching rice.
Okay, so now you're like, I got this rice. I watched how you did it. I made my own. Now what do I do with it? So here are my ideas. Idea number 1, the scattering method. This is pretty obvious. It's rice. You gotta wait until it's dry. You don't want any of that green dye anywhere where you don't want it. You can scatter it around the property of your home to bring prosperity into your home. This is a good one. You can also sprinkle it around your workplace, your work environment, around your shop that you work in, around your station that you work in, around your desk, anything like that. Maybe putting a little bit, a grain or two in a register, you know, the money register. But the trick on this method is to keep it very low key. You don't want to sit there and dump a bunch of it around the house or something like that, or at work and have people go, what is all this green stuff? You know, so, and you know, if someone does, just be like, oh yeah, some kids dumped some bird seed or something like that. So there you go, that's your saving excuse. But yeah, be very incognito, keep a light hand on this, because we just don't want people to really notice what we're doing. We know what we're doing. They don't need to know what we're doing. Also, here's another thing too. Keep in mind, this is prosperity rice. So let's say maybe you're trying to sell your car. What if you made like a little circle around your car because you're trying to sell it, and that's going to bring prosperity to you. So I'm like, yeah, sprinkling it around your car too. That might help, you know, if you're trying to sell something like a house even. So those are just a couple of extra ideas, because we want you to really think outside of the box. You know, we want you to implement this into your practice, you know, so use it for what's going to work for you. All right, so idea number 2. This is something that I did because I have a little prosperity altar in my home, and it's just a little one. So what I did is I took one of those little tiny bottles and put some of the green rice in the bottle, and then, you know, blessed it, meditated with it, you know, infused it, whatever term you want to use, and then I placed it on my prosperity altar. So this is good to have on your altars. Also, since I'd used one of those little small bottles that a lot of people will use for necklaces, you could wear it on you as well. You could also even sprinkle a few grains of rice in your wallet or in your purse. This is also good to add to mojo bags as well. So little containers, discreet containers, will be a good way to get that rice on you, on your person, or added to a place like a prosperity altar or even inside your desk. Okay, so idea number 3. This one might be a little bit obvious, but come on, you know, you guys, I gotta say it, I gotta throw it out there. This is your candle magics, you know, adding a circle of the green prosperity rice around your candle if you're doing a prosperity spell. Even, you know, when we dress our candles with the oils and we add herbs, you could probably get a few of those grains of rice to stick to that candle as well. You could also use the prosperity rice in your crystal gridding as well. That's another idea, another layer or component that you can add to your spell work. And that's the way that prosperity rice is meant to be used. It's another layer to add to your spell. Okay, so you survived another one of my crazy videos. So I'm gonna close with saying thank you for watching. Thank you for giving me thumbs up. Thank you for subscribing. You guys, I really appreciate it. I have been doing this channel for over a year now, and it's kind of cool to sit here and think about the relationships that have developed from it, you know, because originally I'm always solitary. I'm solitary, so I'm like, you guys in a way are kind of like my online coven, if you will. So I enjoy getting to know you guys. I enjoy, you know, seeing the comments down below and questions and video requests and things like that. I freaking love it. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm doing this, is because it's freaking fun. This is what I love to do for fun, is get on here and record videos with you guys about witchcraft, because I fucking love it, you know? So I'm just gonna say in closing the usual, hit the subscribe button to help support me, hit that thumbs up, that always helps us, And then also, if you want to keep tabs on me and what I'm doing on the daily fly, I'll always have Instagram linked down below so you can follow me on there. And I'll just say thank you very much, guys. Love you guys, and I'll see you next time.